Hey everyone, this is Joe with Ghost Gaming, and today we have our UDS finals between Mohammed and Michael, both teammates of Goats Gaming. Mohammed's on the left, Michael's on the right. Just want to say before the video, there's a little bit of glare. Galaxy Comics has very bright lights, so just got to deal with that a little bit. I'll try and tell you all the cards that are going on that you might not be able to see. Anyway, so this is, like I said, the UDS finals. We had 4 rounds of Swiss, and then the top 8 top cut. For players. The only reason I'm not in the finals is because I had to work, so I had to leave when top 8 started. But I was in there. Anyways, Momo activates Barrage effect to target itself. Popping it starts doing rat shenanigans. Activates Pod Desires. He can make the Emerald or Dryden play, or the Emerald play here. If you really wanted to, but you have to expend an extra normal or your extra resources, so sometimes it's not worth it depending on your hand. So he does activate Pod Desires, and so now he's basically going to see what's the best route to go from there. There's a couple routes he can go, with either ending with a Hammer Kong, ending with a Tornado, ending with a Trident De Gusto. So he does elect to do the Hammer Kong play, so obviously he likes his hand, and he wants to keep his Zoo in and keep his normal summon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's basically Zoo Turbo deck. We're not going to do deck profiles for this either. We want to kind of keep as much as we can secret for Nats. Obviously you'll be able to see some, but yeah. So he does elect to normal summon actually Thoroughblade or Ram, and go into De Gusto. So he does end up doing the play. And yeah, he puts back 2, puts back Rat, draw 1. So Momo is in a really good spot, especially because he got off Desires. He gets to draw now. It sucks that he doesn't have the Ram on field, but if he has my body in hand, like, that's also protects him from board wipes. So he sets 4, has 2 in hand, like, damn, man. People say Zoo is dead. So now it's Michael's turn. Michael is going to try and break this board, and he activates Dark Hole. And Momo has the My Body. This card is definitely, like, in pure Zoo, it's my favorite card. I want to see 2 of it in every opening hand. Like, love this card. It's actually busted. Play 3 of it if you're playing pure Zoo. Anyways, now he activates Desires. Let's see if Momo has Ash. He does. Activating, a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't play Desires because of Ash. But if you think about it, sure, you might banish 10, but it's still a 1-for-1. Like, if you can get off Desires, you basically win. So anyways, Michael's playing Book of Moon. So he activates Book of Moon on Hammer Kong. This is why I don't specifically like Book of Moon, because of Hammer Kong. And same with Chalice. Chalice is kind of meh. But Chalice you still need versus what's it called? Like, stuff like Flying Sea, and still not bad, and it's good versus like VFD and sometimes Masterpiece. But anyways, Michael's normal summons a monster Whiptail, and Momo decides to try and pop. He activated My Body, and then yeah, something tries to overlay into Brawl, and Momo has the strike. Fun game. So yeah, basically Momo's in a really good position. Like, that basically has to be either a Dimensional Bear or a Torrential for Sir Michel to stay in this game. But yeah, so anyways, Momo decides to activate De Gusto effect. And if this goes off, that's pretty much game, but the only thing that can really save him is Torrential, right? Like, Momo's just plus so hard now. He has 2 set. He's going to have 4 in hand. He's going to still have a Hammer Kong and a De Gusto. Like, I don't know what Michael can do at this point, other than be a sack like he is. So yeah. So basically, so Momo activates Tanky. He's probably going to get a Thoroughblade here. Yeah, so he gets Thoroughblade. He'll probably try and cycle draw another one. And it's looking bad for Michael. Actually, in what's it called? In Swiss, Michael 2-0'd Momo, and Momo was kind of salty. Momo was like, he just had the answer for everything, which Michael always does. But so he's going to overlay Check-a-Nine onto his his Hammer Kong, and special summon Ram in defense mode. He could have put Ram in attack mode if he wanted to get greedy and like try and OTK, or get very close to OTKing with like using Dryden popping Ram and summoning Whiptail attack, Whiptail equip, right? All those shenanigans, but I think he's just playing safe. Michael does like to play Mirror Forces and be a sack with Mirror Forces, so Momo could be playing around this. But Momo can like he can make Tornado Dragon if he's really scared of that back row and a Trident, and like he'll be like just in a commanding lead at this point. But we'll see what he elects to make. He could also make another Degusto. One thing, I'm not a fan of actually playing 2 Degustos right now because like I never really find the second one coming up, and like if a second one comes up, like you've already won the duel. So like I'm testing Abyss Dweller, just for like pure Draco, and Dinos and whatever rogue deck that may be lurking around for Nats. Another card I was thinking about, which it's kind of cute. I don't know if I'll actually play it, was F-Zero, because Masterpiece is just a bitch, and F-Zero doesn't really do anything, or doesn't die to Masterpiece, and Masterpiece doesn't get over F-Zero, so it's just kind of like a stalemate there, you know? But again, it's all testing. So yeah, he made a Tornado Dragon and pops his back row. I can't really see what the back row is because again, the Galaxy's lights are bright. But yeah, oh, it was Forbidden Chalice. So yeah, Michael draws Got Nothing Scoops because that was his only card, and he elects to go first. So he activates Tanky and searches for Ram Ram. That's interesting. He might already have Rat, or so he wants to go Thoroughblade, send Ram Ram. So I think he wants to like just like have a Ram Ram and a Trident maybe. Unless he has a Barrage and he's a sack too and like goes off. But we'll see. So he overlays Hammer Kong. Overlays Broad Bull. Broad Bull effect to search. I'm going to assume he gets Whiptail here. Yeah. I think he... Interesting. I don't know if he... I just think he didn't want to summon the Rat. I don't know why. But he's going to do the Hammer Kong play. Put a Ram Ram underneath Hammer Kong, end with a Trident, set 2, say go. I guess he just felt it was more, or is better to cycle cycle his whatever. Momo activates Raigeki and Michael had the My Body, but then he Gamma Seals the Trident, so it basically ends in the same result. The only problem is if that is actually a barrier or whatever, because then you basically just gave a 22 beater in the zoo to a zoo player, which is really amazing. That's one of the reasons I don't really like kaijus in the mirror, especially if you get buried or something, or you can't like make a Trident and out it. So Momo makes Broad Bull right away. Oh no, Hammer Kong, sorry, and special summons Rat. So it looks like Michael's set card is a bluff. It could just be like a Chalice or maybe another My Body. But if it's another My Body, that will be big. Because that will get rid of Momo's Trident. So now he goes into Broad Bull and he's searching for... It's either Whiptail or Ram Ram. Yeah, because Ram Ram adds a contingency play for next turn. So if his plays do get stopped, if you summon Ram Ram versus Trident, they can't just pop the Trident, right? Or pop the Ram Ram. So... Or else just special summon back a zoo monster. And you just wasted it. But yeah, so Momo is, I guess, deciding. I think he wants to go into Check-A-Nine here. Just try and plus as much as possible. Or he goes into Bow. And then Trident. Yeah, so he does make the Trident defense mode. Active effect. Let's see if this is My Body. Oh, so it's Ghost Ogre. So he Ghost Ogres his Trident. But now Momo can, if he wants, he can go Check-A-Nine, bring back the Trident, and then put a Tiger Mortar and put it back underneath. Which he might actually elect to do. And that we still, yeah, so he still has the Trident. That's why it's also really good just to like shotgun Trident. Because you can just, you can shotgun Trident effect pop. And if that goes through, you can Check-A-Nine it back and put a Tiger Mortar material underneath it for next turn. You still have a Trident pop. So it basically does the same thing, just uses a bit more of your materials. But Momo's just, I think, deciding on what he wants to bring back right now. I think the correct play is Trident. But he might be able to summon back something and get over the Hammer Kong. But he doesn't have anything engraved that actually gets over 2,000 beater. Maybe Mo also has, what's it called? Deep Barrier. in his hand. I don't know. We'll just have to see what this guy does. So yeah, he does. I think he does. He does bring back the Trident. Thing is, he has nothing that can actually boost attack in his graveyard as well. So he brings back the Trident, sets one. Doesn't use the Tiger Mortar. So I guess he has the Whiptail in hand. But I don't know. I think he just forgot about the Tiger Mortar, to be honest. So Michael decides to summon Check-a-Nine right off the hop. And Momo's going to activate Whiptail and then Trident to pop. Which we could assume from that line of play that he had. And now I don't know what... I'm assuming that what Michael is summoning is the Ram he searched. Can't really see with that glare. Jeez, these lights are bright. But now Momo's backrow kind of has to be relevant. Because if not, then Michael can clear his field and just go off, right? And then he'll be back in the control position. I don't know. I kind of like the Zoomir. It's kind of fun, actually. It kind of reminds me of gadgets. Just a lot more powerful gadgets. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of resource management. Trying to get over a giant, trying to bait, trying to figure out the best line of plays. I don't know, it's fun. The only thing I don't really like this format is Masterpiece. Masterpiece is just still a bitch. Like, you have to main, like, gross cards like Kaijus just to get over that fuck. Like, Jesus. Boom. So, I think Michael has a Michael has Trident with 2 Whiptails underneath. And 2 Whiptails and a Tiger Mortar underneath. And he's attacking Momo's Trident. I think Momo has Whiptail here. And he's just figuring out if he actually wants to activate it. But if he activates it and then Michael pops it, then that's just kind of a blowout. So Trident does get attacked over. And he's going to activate Trident's effect to pop. Sorry, Momo's face down was Cosmic Cyclone. Okay, so Momo just needs a way to out this Trident, and then if he has another way to go into his Trident, that would be really good. See, like, this game is really back and forth. Like, me and Momo, we play tested, like, I don't know, it was like 45, 50 matches in a row of just Zoo vs. U, and we played with, like, our hands open. And a lot of the time, like, it just came down to these huge grind games. And Momo has the My Body. I wonder if he top decked that off of the effect. I think Michael should have, on activating effect, chained right away. Because then he doesn't have a way to get to dig deeper into his deck for My Body. That means he has to have My Body in his hand right then and there. But who knows? Who knows? So now Momo is back in control position. Michael has 3 cards in hand. He's activating effect of Check-a-Nine to bring back Ram. He has Thoroughblade underneath his Big Booty Ho. Get Brawl Bull effect to search. For a Whiptail. Oh, ARG was pretty cool this weekend. Got to see Patrick Hoban playing some jank deck. That was pretty awesome. Pure Zoo is still a great deck. A lot of the players are playing Winter Cherries, and Winter Cherries actually got butt out. And I don't know, I'm just not a fan of that card fully. Like, it's a -1, and a lot of the times on stream, like, they would get the Zoo player would get cherried, but he'd still plus a ton. And then he'd have one way to deal with or stop their opponent from using Trident, and then they just win, right? Like, it was very, sometimes, like, it was either sometimes a blowout card or sometimes it was just not. And I don't know. But yeah, so Michael goes T-set for his turn, so that's probably just a hand trap. And the set card is probably just a bluff at this point, unless he, like, top decked a barrier like a god. But Momo's in a commanding position now. And Momo does have the Cosmic. And it looks like that is actually D-barrier off the top. And Momo is now deciding if he wants to, I think, pop Ram. Was that D-Barrier? I think it was. I'm not sure. Man, D-Barrier, though, is such a strong card, though. Like, this next format, like, I think it's back to being a main deck card. Because, like, not only does it stop Zoo, it slows down Zoo Draco, obviously, but it also, like, Pendulums might be a deck. The only thing I see problem with Pendulums is Cyclones are mained, D-Barriers, Strikes, potentially, right? Like, Zoo is just so efficient. And Pendulum Call, as good as it is, like, if you have an Ash versus that, like, come on. It's a neg 1, right? So, anyways, Momo is just fiddling through his graveyard. I think that was D-Barrier if he's having to think this hard. But, so he's going to normal summon the Whiptail attack. Oh, and it's a Whiptail. Okay. Summon Ram or Ram attack and say go. So yeah, it definitely was D-Barrier. So he's going to summon Whiptail. Momo's going to have to Dread and pop it. And my body again. See, this card is just freaking amazing. Like, by far, definitely, like, if I could play 6 copies of my body this format, I would. Like, it stops board wipes, stops Ghost Ogre, stops Tridents, maybe outs a Masterpiece if it's not by spell. Like, the card is just freaking amazing. Like, I can't stress it enough. Like, I would play that over anything else. Michael's actually, like, out of Zoo. He just summoned a Trident and attacked his Ram. Like, he only has 3 cards left in his extra deck, and that's probably a Abyss Dweller and 2 Degustos, or 2 Degustos and a Tornado Dragon, or any of those, like, combinations, you know? Oh. So, Stand By Face, I think he should just pop this Whiptail. Like, he should know that Momo has a Trident. I don't know why Michael's actually just holding this. So, I don't know. Maybe Michael's hand is good. I don't know. But he has no way to protect his Trident versus another Trident. Unless Momo's also out of Zoo, then that would be freaking hilarious. So yeah, maybe I think Michael's just checking graveyard, seeing how many Tridents is left in Momo's extra deck. Because, like, Pure Zoo now will play three Tridents, 3 Broad Bull for sure. There's no reason not to. But yo, remember, this is all for a freaking Blue Eyes pin. Y'all be hyped. So Momo summons Trident right away and they pop each other. And then if Momo has Le Ram, and this this just looks terrible for Michael. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of life points, but this might even just be game. Yeah, so Momo attacks for game with Whiptail and Thoroughblade. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like our content, and peace out.